actually found songwriting a challenge, and there's some songs that I've written, but I won't sing in public. I've written one song, but it's the emotion of the song that just takes me on this journey.
Join Robbie Mann as he talks about life, culture, music, and fatherhood.
I get so emotionally choked up about it because I'm so, I think, just in love with where I come from and who I am.
Robbie, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Brother, we go back. I've been really excited to yarn to you. So let's start with name, mob, and what you're up to.
Sure. Robbie Mann, Drumball man from Rocky and South Sea Islander from Vanuatu and New Caledonia. What I'm up to, I'm a husband, father of 2 boys, work full time, and when I get the chance, perform as well. So singer, musician, and sometimes songwriter.
You are very, very modest. You're an incredible artist. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Through mob, through the arts.
Yeah.
Let's visit those early 10 to 15 years, childhood, a bit of schooling, identity. Let's start there.
Yeah, so I was born in Rockhampton. At that time when I was born, my family were living in a small railway town called Ogmore, which is about an hour and 45 north of Rockhampton. So our early childhood was, we had a bit of moving around. So after that, moved up to, I think I was less than 2 when we moved to Carmilla, which is just south of Serena.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, our family moved down to Griffith, New South Wales in the later 80s. And then we eventually moved across to Bourke. And we were in Bourke till about 93. Moved across to Wilcannia, and we were there for about a year, just under a year. And then we eventually moved back home to Rocky. And so through those years, we were going to school. And then eventually once we, through Griffith and Bourke, and then when we moved across to Wilcannia, my parents started homeschooling us. So Mum was our teacher. And then when we returned back to Rocky, we continued homeschooling for a little while. And then we eventually she returned to work after, I don't know, maybe 20 years or so after raising all the children. And then she, Mum and Dad put us into a school. And so finished out my years at school. Got a grade 10 education. So that was as far as my education went and could take me. I think that's, I'm happy with that to where I am today. And grade 10 was,
It's tricky when you're that age because grade 10, sometimes you've learnt what you've needed to at grade 10 and there's role models, there's people in the community, there's work you can go straight into. So now, we met in Brizzy. Let's go from sort of year 10, transition to Brisbane, young adulthood, identity. And then, obviously us meeting, that doesn't need to be said like it's an important thing, us meeting. But let's just take us through those years.
So, was working up in Rocky for a number of years and then decided to locate to Brisbane in 2006. So I think it was about 2008, 2009 when I first met you. Here in Brisbane.
There was a lot of arts things and
a lot of arts around, a lot of music, a lot of cultural events around. So
now I tell everyone that I know, singer, writer. When did you first fall in love with music, singing, and where did you start to embrace it and start performing?
Well, we were brought up in the church, so we were singing every weekend, and with our family, the Mann family, we were always known to be guitarists and singers, and so it's a common trait in our family. So that just came natural. So 5 of my siblings, we were all guitarists, singers, bass players, drummers. So we were basically the church band, and then the sister above me, she was sort of like, I guess, the main female singer of the family. And so just growing up, learning to sing together, harmonizing, that was where I got a love for background vocals. I love background vocals. I don't, I will, I'll step up to be a lead vocals, but I love to be a BV because I find it the challenge that I like. And it's that intricate work vocally that I like to be challenged in, to remember my parts. I don't like to read the music, like as in sing with it in front of me. I need to remember it in my head. It needs to almost be like within my fiber of my being. I should be able to just sing it, and it will just it'll sit in there, and it should just naturally come out. That's, I guess, my expectation of myself when I sing.
Can you explain that to me? Because I'm sitting here without that knowledge, without that, experience.
Yep.
Can't sing to save myself. But background vocals, it's easy. I'm not saying easy for an artist to just learn a song, learn the lyrics. But when you're performing live, what's involved in that process? Give us an example of maybe a popular song and how you'd break that down.
Yeah. So definitely working with the artist of understanding what they want. Firstly is understanding what they want from us. And if there are a number of backing vocals, understanding what each person is doing besides yourself. This is my expectation, and this might be different for everybody, but for me, I need to understand what you do, what that person does, so I know where I should be fitting in, and learn that and really ingrain it in, so it just becomes my second nature. When I hear that song, it should just, it's like my brain gets into that realm of that song. And I'm just all in. And then, like, there's been moments when I haven't pitched it right, and I'm just like, no, I do, okay, get back on the horse and keep going, basically. Yeah. But also understanding the song. Why was the song written? What is the artist trying to convey with their song? Because I might listen to a song, and it's happened where I've listened to a song and I've got my interpretation of it. And then I've actually gone to the artist and said, oh, so what does this song actually mean for you? Why did you write it? And I've been on the other side of the earth. Like, I had it completely wrong. But although it made sense in my mind, but then when I heard the actual story of why that song was written, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. But
there's a real art to background vocals.
Yeah.
See, this is ignorance right now. I'll watch a performance live.
Yeah.
I'll see the background vocalist.
Yeah.
And I just think harmony.
Yeah. So I still sing in church. So it's like if I get told a song like the day before, and I've never sung it before, it's no pressure for me, because I just know now what I need to do. I have my own processes in my brain of how I need to go and learn this song. But then I know when to stop learning, because then I'm just sort of overstimulated in my brain, and then it takes too long for me to get out of that. So I'll listen to a song a few times before I even go and read the lyrics, because I want to hear the music, I want to feel the beat, I want to hear the rhythm, and hear the lyrics, and then I'll break it down. I'll hear the song a few times in full. Then I'll break it up. What's the first verse? What's the intro in the first verse? First verse and chorus. First verse, chorus, second verse. So that's how I process in my brain around music.
I love that. And then with songwriting as well, was that something that came naturally with the singing, or is it something you explored possibly through maybe an outlet? Was there a time in your young adult life where maybe music was a savior for you to help you through possibly a tough time?
Yeah, it definitely. I actually found songwriting a challenge, but then I've gone through a couple of moments where I've just had a bright idea, and it's always that wee hours of the morning that a song has come to me, and I've gotten up to go and write it down, and then I've gone to sleep, had a peaceful sleep, and then I'll wake up, and then I can hear something running through my brain. I can hear a tune, I can hear a hum. I sort of feel like, let's see where this like emotion has taken me on this with these lyrics that I've written down. And then and there's some songs that I've written, but I won't sing in public. And then there's a couple that I will sing, but then the rest I won't. I think then it's not the right time for me to sing them songs for whatever reason. Like I just don't feel that. I think I wouldn't be able to do the song justice what I want to say in it. So I don't really want to then go and make my audience feel uncomfortable or feel a bit, oh, he's a bit gammon, this fella. Like, so I whenever I sing, whether if I am doing a solo gig or if I am backgrounds, I'm 100% in, and I'm committed to it. Yeah. I've written one song, and it's basically just dedicated to my South Island heritage, and it's called Home. It's really simple, but it's the emotion of the song that just takes me on this journey where I've sung it in the Queen Street Mall, and I feel like I'm sitting down at our place up home called Joskeleigh. It's a small South Island community outside of Rocky, and I feel like I'm sitting back. Like we call it the block. I feel like I'm sitting on the block in the middle of we don't have many trees on the block, so it's quite open spaced. And my parents and uncles and aunties are still on that block. So I feel like I'm on the red road that we drive down, just sitting on it, singing to just nature. But I'm sitting in Queen Street Mall.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a song that I will sing with my eyes closed because for me, I'm sort of, what's the word? I'm
transporting. It's
ported.
Out of body.
Yeah. That's a spiritual connection for me. And it's combining the two places, Vanuatu and Joskeleigh, of my family, my roots, culture, but also acknowledging culture that has been lost, and the language that has been lost. And, to no fault of our own, but having the agency to own that, no, we're going to take it back. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It'd be great to, at a later stage, maybe we could record that song of you singing, and we could put that into this episode to show everyone.
That'd be great.
The place of people in life, a place where custom is right. It's where I belong. A place where people are free. A place where I belong. My home, take me home, my home, where I belong. Chained to another place, a desert land is now my home. My back aches, my heart aches for home. Can't go home, too far from home. Home, my home, take me home, my home, where I belong. I can't go home, too far from home. Home, my home, take me home, my home, sweet home, my home, take me home, my home, where I belong. Ooh, where I belong.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I get so emotionally choked up about it because I'm so, I think, just in love with where I come from and who I am. And so it's, I have a lot of people ask me, why do you do so much work for, Vanuatu or your family in Vanuatu? Why do you travel so much? And I'm like, I honestly think it's actually part of my destiny. Like, it was part of my life's calling of why I do what I do and why I'm so connected to my Vanuatu heritage. And when I'm there, I'm home. I don't think about Australia. It's so weird. Like I'm from here. I got mob in Rocky. Like I'm Durumble. So it's like I have two homes.
Mm.
I'm at home when I'm home here in Rocky, Joskeleigh, but I'm also home when I'm over there. And so, it's the first time I went. It was 2003. And it was a surreal experience of landing, and just the time I spent there was as if almost it was a familiar place.
Mm.
I saw people that looked like my family. I saw the food that had similarities to what some of our families were still able to cook here. You know, that the old people were handing down through our cooking.
Mm.
That's why my son loves to cook.
Mm.
We have that family tradition as well. And so I wanted to know more about why we looked the way we looked, why our family has different features, why we have different types of hair, why we have different skin textures. So it's been I think it's just my life's journey to do as much work as I can and learn to pass on, because I want to try and bridge the gap from what was taken from us and where we were taken from. So when my time on earth is done, I know that I will have done enough for the next generation of Karen, whether it's my kids or relatives or community members, you know. And I'm always conscious to know that we have young people in our community watching us in what we do, how we conduct ourselves and how we represent our communities. So I know that's a big responsibility on all of us. So we want to do it to the best of our ability, because they know when we're gammon.
Oh yeah.
And they will tell us.
Yeah.
And they will keep you humble.
Now that first experience going home, and I use that word home, to some of the work you're doing now in the community here.
Yeah.
Can you share some of that work in the community, the South Sea Islander community, just to bring awareness to that? Yeah,
definitely. So last year we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the Commonwealth recognition for Australian South Sea Islanders. So it was only in 1994 that we were formally recognised by the government as being our own distinct cultural group. So I was fortunate enough to be a part of a small community group that were able to work with the Queensland Museum and do a number of workshops to help pull together the Australian South Sea Islander Say Our Name exhibition, which opened in August last year and will close in July. So it's running for 11 months straight. And it takes you on a journey of the past, the present, but also what, I guess our future, the future generations. It highlights amazing artists. It brings a lot of awareness about our community, and also how we, I guess, identify, our family shirts. Like my mind's just going through the museum now. Like there is this nice section about of just shirts from within the communities, that the community and different families, like their reunion shirts or different South Sea Island shirts that have been made over the years, because they actually all mean something. They have a lot of meaning to our community. To the average person walking down the street, they wouldn't know. It's just like, wearing, mob shirts and things like that. Like,
that's right.
We will all take that second look to see that shirt and who owns that shirt, or where does that shirt comes from? It's the same thing with the family reunion shirts of, oh, you belong to that family. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I'm related to them. So it's actually also a conversation starter. Yeah. And so a great feature in it is also digital storytelling,
Yes.
digital stories, which is, I love digital stories. And, we were yarning before about the importance of preserving history and, but also, in 100 years' time, we are going to be the ancestors our descendants are going to be talking about. So what are we going to leave them?
Yeah.
If we don't do any work now, they're not going to have anything. We can't leave it up to, the next person that we hope that they're going to, do the work. Or maybe it's not their job. Maybe it's your job.
It's an obligation, right?
It's our obligation. And I was able to have my eldest son involved, and he was 11 at the time. He's 12 now. And he has a passion for community. He loves people. He loves being involved. He's quite a social person. So he's always out and about. Never wants to stay home. So I don't think there'll be any point of him renting a house when he's older. He'll never be home.
Yeah.
So having him involved, he got to really experience what it's like doing community work. Because we sat in those workshops that we were having, it was, we're talking about ancient stuff in there as well, and history and seeing artifacts and things like that. So him at a young age being exposed to that, I hope guides him and helps mold him in the future.
Now, take us back to when you first became a father, where you were emotionally, spiritually, and what has being a father taught you.
I became a father at, I think it was age 29. It was a surreal experience when you see that baby and hold them in your arms, and you're just like, this is mine. And my instant feeling, or the I don't know if it's the nature. It was, how you have the lion, and he is the one who is guarding the tribe. I am the lion. I am the protector, and that's different to when you are an uncle, when you babysit the nephews or nieces and things like that. When you have your own child, it's a whole different feeling. But it's something that, I don't know, I just naturally just closed in on. It was like, you are mine, and I'll do everything I can to protect you. What parenting has taught me was, it's a different love that you have for your children. And I'm realizing, and my wife said the other day, you're a softie now. I give in to them too quick. I've always got to remind myself, you've got to be an active father. You've got to be an active father. Do not be complacent. Being a father, is just the greatest joy. Above everything. My professional career is all about helping Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I think that's what balances me as being South Sea Islander and Aboriginal.
Yes. Is
I need to, we walk in both worlds, and I know a lot of people don't like that. And that's a bit of a touchy subject in itself. South Sea Islanders being in Aboriginal spaces. But with us who have mixed heritage, basically, I can't help who I am.
Yes.
Love me or leave me.
Yeah.
But I'm here to help community. And I hope that my work that I do, as we were saying before, mob can see straight through you if you're gammon.
Yes.
So I hope that my honesty and my passion, people see that. Firstly, you've just got to be comfortable in and proud of who you are, and love where you come from.
Let's touch on that. We don't want to talk about stuff too traumatic, but the blackbirding history in Australia, the South Sea Islanders that came over. Let's bring a bit of awareness about that.
Sure.
For those people out there that don't know what South Sea Islanders are, if you want to take it away.
Sure. So who are Australian South Sea Islanders, you will get just quite a broad description of, I guess, who we are, how we come to be here. 1863 was when it was basically legalised to bring in Melanesian and Polynesian Pacific Islanders to come and work on the cane fields. I guess what isn't really discussed is how they were brought. It's trickery. Was some came willingly because they were told they were getting money, get a 3-year contract and go back home. And that might be true to some families, but then the conditions is not what they signed up for.
No.
The treatment of the wider Australia community, that's not what they signed up for. I think our South Sea Islander history of, from 1863 to 1904 was when, the Wide Australia policy came in. All right, we basically had enough of you need to go back home. But during that time, people had intermarried with local Aboriginal groups from wherever, people were living, stationed across Queensland. They've had children. Some people were taken back. Others petitioned to stay. A lot of petitioned to stay because they had, then made home here. So there's quite a blend, quite a complex layer of identity within the South Sea Island community.
What are some of the hard lessons you've learned balancing being an artist?
I think, I don't know, because I always used to say to people and tell myself, I never wanted to be famous, like a famous singer. I never wanted to take it professionally. I think that type of talk in my brain nowadays, I think that sounds silly. I think that limited me in what I guess if I had fully committed into that, where it could have taken me. But then I was also conscious of becoming a father, and bills need to be paid. Food needs to be on the table. You have children, you have responsibilities. That's priority number one. So then I made the decision of I need to work full time and sort of do performing on the side. And when I made that decision, going down that road of working full time and sort of doing performing on the side, being involved around arts and things like that, I think it's popped up at the right time, and people have popped up in front of me at the right time. Being able to still hold on to the arts, the performing side, even if I go and see a play or I go and see a live band, I just feel that the flame sort of just lights back up again. Like, I just love it. Some of the hard decisions of that I've made, I think, although I wasn't too sure if they were the right decisions I made, they are. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I've landed myself. But I think, making a hard decision, but being able to still have that door open. A close friend here in Brisbane will, message and say, I got a ticket to a show. Like I'm there.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Because for me, when I see Mob there, it's almost like a reunion. I'm there for the reunion and then for the show.
Yeah.
It's great to catch up with everyone.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
You're always going to be an artist.
Yeah.
When we yarn this morning, I'm talking about your music. That's the first thing I talk about. And we have culture and we have all this stuff, and we're going to keep doing that and telling stories. But I love that you shared that, because the artist struggle is real.
Mm-hmm.
The responsibilities, the lack of support for artists.
Yeah.
Just look at COVID and then what happened there with the supporting of the arts. Yet for 2 years plus, people are surviving by consuming art, watching TV, reading books, listening to music, but they didn't deem it essential.
Yeah.
Society needs us.
Absolutely.
It's soul food.
Yeah. Like you're saying, it raises that awareness. It brings history to life. It brings topics that people aren't bold enough to talk about.
Yes.
Well, people will put it on stage. And people will actually go and watch that. People want to watch that. People want to go and see it.
They need it.
They need it.
They don't know if they do, but they need art.
Yeah.
How awesome was it? And I know you'd be really proud as well when you saw Black Snow first came out and there was South Sea Mob represented in film.
Yeah.
How good was it?
That was amazing. I think I just smiled through the whole thing. Just so proud. So proud. So many of my family members, relatives, cousins were in that series, and just, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop promoting it within family, work, my gym crew, just talked about it everywhere because I was just so proud of it.
I was down here, of course, living down here, and they're shooting back up close to home, and I'm down here fuck, I wish I was back up home because obviously I'm involved in film and stuff, and I was just really excited. And I don't get FOMO for anything.
Yeah.
I stay in my lane.
Yeah.
But it was nostalgia and home and representation, and there was part of me that just yearned to be up there.
Yeah.
Just, so it was really cool to do that. And now we're sort of bringing, again, awareness to South Sea Islander mob.
Yeah, and that definitely opened up a number of conversations with people within, different circles of my life of, I didn't know that you went through this, or I didn't know that's how you got here. How long have you known me for? We're social media friends. Surely by now you can put one and one together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or click on one of my many things that I've put up.
Yeah.
That is bringing awareness to it.
Bringing awareness, promoting, highlighting the goods and the bad things that happened. Yeah.
You said very early on, your mission. This is your mission. And I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
And I think the timing of us just reconnecting.
Yeah.
After we said maybe a decade?
Yeah, I think it's about a decade.
More.
Yeah.
And we were just artists at the time.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it.
Yeah.
Making out and trying to make it. We were trying to make out, be deadly. And, doing our thing.
Yeah.
You're just young, and now it's there's so much purpose now.
Yeah.
And alignment. And I think it's very important, the work you're doing, brother. We could keep yarning, but I want you to leave a message for young mob out there that might be trying to retrace their South Sea Islander, their Aboriginal, their Torres Strait Islander heritage, a message to them.
I can see, young people looking for their identity. They want to know who they are, where they come from. For my journey, I had a few ups and downs in that journey of, there was moments when it wasn't the right time and things were happening. And I'm talking about different type of spiritual things were happening. That's an indication that's not your right time.
Yes.
And that's okay. Just pause. Don't stop. Just pause, because the door will open when it's your turn. But then I think when it's time to move forward with that, be ready for a long walk on that journey, because it can be slow. It can be, there's highs and there's lows. You might think you've come to a dead end on your research, or talking to family members. My grandmother, one of them was like, George, that's my middle name. She'd call me George. George, you don't worry about it. You live here now. But I said, no, I need to know who I am and where I come from. I need to know about all my family. So I think being brave enough to ask the old people, and they might say no, so just accept that at that time.
Yes.
But that doesn't stop you from doing your own personal work and You know, I think knowing people from your own community and who are those knowledge keepers. And, you know, there's Maori organisations around Queensland, there's South Sea Islander organisations around Queensland that, you know, I think sometimes it's just taking that first step to making contact with those agencies or those, you know, organisations that, you know, you can go and just start. Yeah. And I think another thing is, you know, cultural adoption is a big thing. Like in the South Sea Island community, because I've got it in my own family where relatives are like, oh, but we're not, you know, we're not blood this. I'm like, oh, but this is what the elders have said. That person was brought up that family way.
Yes.
They only knew that family way. So let's not get that Western thinking into this space.
Yes.
This is our family. This is culture. That's actually custom.
Yes.
So we need to learn that ourselves to understand the uniqueness and complexities of our own cultures and how, you know, it was brought across from the islands to here and how it continued for a number of generations. And so I think I find I hold that quite close, and I find it a joy to hold that type of information. You know, there's stuff that I've heard that I can't talk about, and I don't know if I'm allowed to. Maybe there's some point at, you know, when I'm older that, you know, I know that it's the right time to talk about. But if it's not, then, you know, there are things that people aren't allowed to talk about, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's being wise not to share it.
That's right.
If you've been told by an elder not to share it, don't share it.
Spirit will guide
the spirit
journey.
Will guide,
yeah.
Or a spirit will come and visit you.
Spirit will let you know.
Someone will let
Spirit
you know.
Will let you know. That's it. Brother, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you sharing.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you on and outside of this podcast.
Oh, absolutely.